Okay, so everything will be the same except for A is not 1. So we're going to kind of add a little extra step in there. Okay. So remember when we did completing the square, if A was not 1, we divided everything. So you can do it that way, but people found that a little bit harder. Okay. So I'll show you a different way you can do it. So remember, vertex form. Why do we call it vertex form? Because it gives me when I look at it, I can see the vertex, right? So our equation, remember, is y equals a parentheses x minus h squared plus k. Okay. So all of these are in standard form, so we're going to change it to vertex form. Okay. So which is exactly what we did yesterday. Okay. So our first step is going to be the same. We are going to, everybody ready to get going? Everybody done with the top? Okay. We're going to move C onto the other side. So we're going to do the same. Plus 6. So y plus 6 plus what I'm going to add. Now this is a new part right here. 2x squared plus 4x. Okay. In order to complete the square, a must be equal to 1. And last time we divided everything by 2, right? And you can divide everything by 2 as long as what you do to one side, you do to the other side. But we're going to do a new way. We're going to do this one, which is called factoring it out. Okay? So we're not going to divide. We're going to, if a is not 1, factor it out. So what I'm going to do is, you see right here, I want to get rid of that a. We divide by 2, right? But if I'm not going to do it on the other side, we're going to factor it out. It means we're going to pull it out of there. So just do the math here. If I divide out a 2, what is 2 divided by 2? 1. That's why we have a is 1 now, right? X squared. And then 4 divided by 2 right here is 2x. Now we're going to put a plus a blank here inside there. Okay. So if you want to make sure you did it right, okay, if I were to multiply this back out, right, isn't that what I have on top? 2x squared plus 4x, right? So that's how you make sure you did it right. So now we are going to complete the square on this. This is your b now. This is your b, okay? Not the one on top. It's inside, so we're going to put 2. What two numbers add up to 2? 1 and 1. And don't mess this up. I don't know why. A lot of I do know why. We're going fast and we don't think 2. 1 times 1 is not 2. 1 times 1 is 1. A lot of people put 2. Okay. So now this is another kind of new part here. I added 1 on this side. I am not going to add 1 on the other side. Why am I not going to add 1 on the other side? Okay. I didn't really add a 1. The 1 is inside the parentheses, right? So I have a 2 on the outside. So I really didn't add a 1. If I multiply this all back out, what does it end up being? A 2, right? So I really put a 2 on that side. It's just hidden as a 1. So what you need to do on this side is you take those 2 and you multiply it. 1 times 2 is 2, and you put, I'm going to add 2 because I really added a 2 to the other side and not a 1. Okay. Because if you were to multiply this, what did I do? I put the 1 inside the parentheses, correct? And if I multiply this back out, don't you get 2x squared plus 4x plus 2? So what did I really put to the equation? Right? So that's why you can't just put it, you gotta be careful. You want to keep this equal. I really added a 2. It's just hidden inside the parentheses, right? I'll show you. I don't know. I'll show you the other step, okay? So now what do we have here? If you want to see the other way, I'll show you later. Then what do we have here? Y plus what? 6 plus 2 is 8 equals 2. Isn't this already done for us? So what is that? X plus 1 squared. And what do we do now? Get y by itself. Subtracting. And we're going to write this down because for some reason my first period or my second period forgot. What is the vertex of this parabola? Negative what? 8, right? And The parabola, which way does it open? Up or down? How do we know it opens up? A is positive. What does the 2 tell me? What does this 2 tell me about the graph compared to the original one? Remember our x squared was like this? What happens when I put a 2 in front of it? It gets skinnier. What is the math word I gave you guys for skinnier? Vertical. How would you get skinnier? If I pulled you or if I squished you? Stretch. If I could become taller in my same weight, I'd be skinnier, right? Stretch me up. So this is a vertical stretch. I was just reviewing because last period. Just wait till we do a couple. So I don't want you to miss them. You just had a problem with that one, right? You said let's make sure you understand it. Are we okay here? Okay, so I'm gonna do it this. If you want to see the other way, I'll show you afterwards. Okay, but nobody in second period liked the other way. So cross out second method. We'll just use the first method. This is the same problem. So let's just do a new problem. Okay. So the first step is what? Exactly the same as yesterday. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna get rid of our C. So to get rid of a +4, I'm going to -4 to both sides. I'll write it over here so I have more room. Don't forget your plus the blank equals 3x squared minus 12x, right? But what is wrong with this problem? A does not equal to 1, right? So I'm going to divide it out or factor it out of this side. So if I factor it out of this side, where am I going to put it? Right here, right? So what do we have left? X squared minus 12 divided by 3 is what? 4x plus your blank. So what am I completing the square on? This is my B, correct? Not the other problem. So let's go ahead and complete the square on that. What is half of -4? And what goes on top? So do I put this? Do I go +4 +4? No, what do I put on the other side? 12, because what do? We take this and multiply, right? Okay, and then what do we do here on this side? Y plus -4 plus 12? 8 equals what? 3? X minus 2 squared, right? And then we get what? Y by itself? And how do we get Y by itself? Subtract 8. This is called what? Vertex form. Why is it called vertex form? Because I can look at it and tell you what the vertex is. Okay, so this is vertex form and it gives me the vertex. What's my vertex? 2, -8. Okay. You guys try this one, and then if you finish this one, Lavina, you can go. No? Yeah, oh, vertex form. What's your answer? This. No, vertex form, this whole thing. If I ask you what is the vertex, it's what? 3, -3. So some people are confused when they're doing the quizzes. I said, write it in vertex form. What am I looking for then? This is vertex form. If I ask you for the vertex, what's the vertex? 3. Okay, so make sure you understand what we're asking for, okay? Does that make, okay? Let's try one more because we had so many mistakes all over the room today for that problem. Too many. Okay, number 4. Y equals 5x squared plus 10x minus 3. If you didn't finish this one, start the next one. You can come back to this one, okay? Okay, I think I checked most of you. Some of you wrote the wrong problem, so let's start over. So let's start the next one. What's different about this one? Has a negative. Do you think nothing's going to change? Okay, so we are going to do the same things. Just got to be careful with your signs. Some of you are a little careless. We add wrong, we multiply wrong, we lose our negative signs. You got to be careful, okay? So what is my first step? Subtract 3. Okay, so what do we have here? Y minus 3 plus a blank equals negative 2x squared minus 16x. So what am I going to factor out of this problem now? Negative 2, because I need it to be 1. I don't want a negative 1. So negative 2, negative 2. So what do we have left when I divide out a negative 2? X squared. Now what happens to the other one? Plus 8x, right? But plus your blank. Okay. I didn't give you guys anyone with a fraction yet. I should do that, huh? Okay. So what do we have on the bottom? 8. What's half of 8? What's 4 times 4, you guys? 16. So I am going to add a 16 on this side. What am I going to put on the other side? Negative 32. We've always been putting what? Positive, right? 16 times negative 2 is a negative 32. Okay? Everything's the same. You just got to watch out for your negative signs. Does that make sense there? Okay, so now let's do the math. Negative 3 plus negative 32 is a what? Negative 35 equals negative 2, parentheses. How do I factor x squared plus 8x plus 16? X plus 4 squared. And then how do I get y by itself? 35. So what is this? Y equals negative 2, x plus 4 squared plus 30. Okay. What is my this is what? Vertex form. What is my vertex? Okay. What does that negative do to my graph? What does this do? If it's a parabola, what does a negative 2 do? Reflect it. It's just the parabola. If I graph it, should be what? Facing down. And negative, then the 2 tells me it's a little bit skinnier than the original one, right? If I did like 5, it's going to be a lot skinnier, right? 10 is going to be really skinny. If I had like 1/3, it's going to be what? Fatter, wider, right? Okay. It's vertical compression. Okay. All right. You want to try one of these on your own then? Okay. So what do we have? Y equals negative 4x squared minus 32x plus 6. What's the, you guys have the same answer? What's the likelihood you both get the same? I don't know. Okay, you both have the same answer. The one left is like, look at it. The one more looks like it's gonna be right. So it's unlikely. Okay, just be careful, some of you guys, it has to be divided by A. What is A? Negative. If you put 4, it has to be that negative. Then your A is not negative. You can't complete the square if A is negative, okay? Okay. I think most of you guys is pretty good here, right? So, we got one more type. It's not that. Can I do a fraction one? No. But you like it to this when you go to store, it says half off. That's a fraction you like, huh? You want to, okay. Okay, I'll do the hard one with you. How's that? Okay, we good? Okay, you can look at it later if you don't have it. I gotta kind of, so let's just write down the equation first. What's our equation gonna be? Y equals negative x squared plus 7x plus 1. Not that hard. Okay, we ready? Okay, I'm gonna scroll up a little bit here. If you're a little behind, just start on number 7 so we can follow along. Okay, so what's the first thing we're gonna do? Subtract 1, right? So what do we have? Y minus 1 plus my blank equals negative x squared plus 7x. Now, what does A have to be? Well, what does A have to be? 1. Is it 1 right now? It's a what? Negative 1. So how do I make it become a positive 1? Divide by negative 1. Okay? So what we're going to do is divide it by negative 1 and factor it out. So we're going to write negative 1 x squared. 7 divided by negative 1 is what? Negative 7x plus my blank. Okay. So what are we going to do here? B is negative 7. No decimals. I hate decimals. What's half of negative 7? Over 2, right? That's easy. And then what do I do to get to the top? Multiply. What's 7 times 7? 4. So this is what goes here. Now, Am I gonna put a positive 49 over 4 there? Negative, why? Yeah, it's been multiplied there, right? So if I take a positive, this is what? Negative 49 over 4. Okay, so now what do I have to do? I have to what? Add negative 1 and negative 49 over what? 4? But don't you just put a common denominator? So isn't it just 4 over 4 equals 1? Okay, so what is that going to be? Negative 53 over what? 4. So y minus 53 over 4. Negative 1, what? X minus, what are the sides of my x? 7 over 2 squared. Now I'm going to write the final answer like this. Y, so what do I do? I'm not going to write it. We add 53 over 4, right? So what is that going to be? Y equals negative. I'm not going to write the 1. Nobody writes the 1. Right? So we write what? X minus 3. So what is your vertex? 7 over 4. Not that hard, right? Just a fraction. So right here, I'm gonna, ooh, I don't know why. Huh? I won't get here. Let's do this. You don't write 1, okay? That's fine with me, but just realize when you take like state all these other multiple choice, nobody writes it. So you're supposed to know, like, right? I don't want you to get so used to it, you forget that no, don't write. Okay, I don't care if you write it. Doesn't matter. Okay, we all good here? Here, let's do this. I give you 2 problems. You pick. A little bit easier, a little bit harder. Okay, so you get to pick which one you want to do. It's not that much different. Okay, so this is the regular one. Maybe if my pen will work. There we go. And if you want to try a fraction one or challenge yourself a little bit, you do that one. Okay. It just has a fraction in it. Nobody? No, you don't need any. You told me to use a lot of sugar. Oh, yeah. Anybody wants to sit on that? I'm not gonna give you a ton anyway. Nobody? Put your hands out. I give her any?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Do you feel okay with me? All right, how many of you did this one? All right, so let's move these cards. Here we go. And then if you did that one, that's fine. This is what, I won't give you a hard one over test for you. Okay, but hopefully to be do it. Okay, we ready? Go open your Chromebooks. While you work on your way ground or quizzes, I will come around and stamp your homework from last night.